Well, the Ford government announced plans to pay people who work multiple jobs with digital platforms like Uber and TaskRabbit minimum wage. While the government thinks it's getting with the times, those gig workers themselves think they're way off the mark. Brees Sofer is a DJ, union boss, and Uber Eats courier. But due to the pandemic, Uber Eats suddenly became his #1 source of income, and it's anything but consistent.
I'll get offered, anywhere from, $15 to $3, really depending on what the time of day is and what the demand is.
Ahead of the June election, the Ford government announced plans today to give gig workers like Brees $15 minimum hourly wage.
Bigger paychecks for workers, more workplace protections, and more opportunities for better jobs in Ontario.
The United Food and Commercial Workers, a union that works with Uber, says the Ford government's announcement was disappointing.
Fell quite short of what their own expert panel was saying that should be done by the government. It's fallen short from what the community at large and drivers and delivery people have asked for.
The legislation, which has yet to be passed, says the hourly wage would kick in for hours worked, which Brees fears may only recognize part of his job.
Engaged time, what that would mean is that they would only count the time that I actually have an order physically in my bag or someone had in their car. So it would not count the time I'm waiting for an order to arrive. It wouldn't count the time that it takes me to get to the location where I'm picking up the delivery. And if that delivery took me to a place that's outside of a busy area, it doesn't count the time it takes me to get back to a place where I'm going to get orders again. So, people have found that can exclude up to 50% of the time that they're out there working.
Sofer says there are better solutions, starting with scrapping the term gig worker and just putting in employee, thus covering them under the Employment Standards Act, which already includes a $15 minimum wage.
They're misclassifying us. This is what Uber wants. Uber and Lyft and DoorDash misclassify us as independent contractors. I'm not an independent contractor. I have no control over my contract. I don't negotiate with these companies on what I'm going to be paid.
The other option, have multi-billion-dollar companies like Uber simply pay more.
There's absolutely zero things stopping Uber from paying us more. The only thing that's stopping them is themselves.
That's at least one opinion gig workers and the government share.
There's nothing preventing any corporation from paying their workers more. In fact, I encourage it. So if they want to pay $18 or $20 an hour, they can do that today.
Earlier this month, the provincial government also announced a package of plans to help gig workers get benefits. So people like Brees, thinks that you actually wouldn't even need that. Just see them as employees and not gig workers, and then they would get said benefits.